أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to G4 Holy Qur'an Recitation class from Talimut. I'm your today's day teacher and I will be assisted by the teacher assistant and the support teacher. Before we start our class, please ensure that you have maintained respect for the Holy Quran by having performed wudu, that you're covering your head and sitting in a quiet room. And please also make sure that you're logged in with your correct ID and that your camera and microphone are switched off. And if you have any questions about the course or anything, you can always contact us on this email address, taqwa@ahmadiyauk.org. Jazakallah. So moving on, let us make a start with the holy name of Allah. Can I request the support teacher to please unmute a student?
G4744, please unmute your mic.
G4744.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum Assalam. How are you?
I'm fine. Jazakallah.
Can you start with Ta'awuz and Tasmiyah?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار. Our Lord, thou hast not created this in vain, nay, holy art thou, save us then from the punishment of the fire. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. On this word, could you read this word again?
Khalaqta.
So remember to do qalqala on this qaf. So it'll be jerk on qaf, khalaqta.
Yeah, khalaqta.
And one more thing, when you are stopping on this one, how did you stop again?
Batila.
Yes, that's right, but make sure you are prolonging for 2 seconds this la.
Okay.
Batila.
Okay.
Jazakallah. ST, can I have a student for Hadith?
G4702, please unmute your mic.
G4702, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahima wa ala ali Ibrahima innaka Hamidun Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahima wa ala ali Ibrahima innaka Hamidun Majid. On the day of judgment, it will be said to the man devoted to the Quran, go on reciting the Quran and continue ascending in ranks in the heaven. Recite in the slow, rhythmic and melodious manner as you have been reading in worldly life. Your final place will be where you shall reach at the time of the last ayat of your recitation. Musnad Ahmad Tirmizi Abu Daud.
You forgot to read the Arabic.
An Abdullah ibn Amudin Rasiya Allahu anhumma kala Rasulullah yuqalu lisahibil Qur'an ikra awar
It's war. Ikra war.
Ikra war takiwa katil kama turayilu. Sorry. Rattil
Yes.
Rattil kama turattilu fil dunya fa inna manzilataka inda akhirin ayatin tafra'u biha
It's takra'u biha.
takra'u biha.
Jazakallah. Moving on, ST, can I have a student for Malfuzat?
G4 771.
G4 771.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Promised Messiah alayhi salatu wassalam say, the job of a human being is to think and say what he says with his mouth, and then accordingly. But if he speaks like a parrot, remember that there is no blessing with a mere tongue, unless the heart is with it and the deeds are in accordance with it. The mere words which have no virtue or blessing will be considered, because it is a pure statement, even if one recites the Holy Qur'an and asks for forgiveness. God Almighty wants deeds, so He repeatedly commanded us to do good deeds. Until that happens, you cannot get close to God. Some ignorant people say that today we have finished the Holy Qur'an in a day, but someone asked them, what was the benefit of it? You used the tongue but left the rest of the limbs completely. However, Allah Almighty has made all the organs for them to be used.
Jazakallah. So moving on, we now have the quiz. So I will hand over the mic to the TA to conduct the quiz.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. All right, Jazakallah. So let's have the quiz then. Question one. Question one is, which letter is called a maftu letter? Is it A, the letter which carries a kasra, B, the letter which carries a dhamma, or is it C, the letter which carries a fatha, or D, the letter which carries a jazm? ST, could we please have a student?
Yes, G4 703. Please unmute your mic.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Right,
Is the letter C option, the letter which carries a fatha.
brilliant, that's correct. So it is C, the letter which carries a fatha is called a maftu letter. Brilliant, well done. Now, question two, how many Khilafah Jubilee prayers are from the Holy Qur'an? Is it 3 prayers, 2 prayers, 5 prayers, or option D, 4 prayers? Can I request the ST to unmute a student, please?
May I request G4 724, please unmute your mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Is it B?
Think about it. So you're saying, all right, so we've got the option on the screen. It is actually 3 prayers, not 2 prayers. So we've got 3 prayers that are from the Holy Qur'an. Good, well done. Now off to question 3 then. In which condition has Allah prohibited believers to observe the prayer? Is it when one is ill, or when one is in the state of war, or when one is on a long journey, or option D, when one is not in full senses? Could I request the ST to unmute a student?
May I request G4 739, please unmute your mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Which option do you think is the correct one?
SD, when one is not in full senses.
Exactly, brilliant, well done. Jazakallah. Now, question 4 is, what is the least reward for reciting the Holy Qur'an as mentioned by the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him? Is it 3 times of each letter recited? Or is it B, 10 times of each letter recited? Or C, 7 times of each letter recited? Or is it 27 times of each letter recited? Could I request the ST to unmute another student now?
G4 742, please unmute your mic.
G4742, Assalamu alaikum.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. So which option do you think is the correct one?
Sorry, I raised hand for the previous question.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you want to do this one, or shall we skip it?
10 times of each letter recited.
So you're saying 10 times, and it is correct. Well done. Brilliant. Jazakallah. Now, the last question then is, which word is used to give negation of a command in the Holy Quran? Is it ma, or laysa, or la, or is it lam?
May I request G4 719? Please unmute your mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
It's ma and la. I'm not sure about it, but it's from both of them. It's A or C.
So you're confused between two options.
Because la mean no, and
Yes.
ma mean also is and laysa mean also is low.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No. We are after the negation of a command. Now, you've given me three options now: A, B, and C. It's one of them I can say, but not all three.
Ma.
You're going for ma?
Yeah.
Okay, but it
la.
was C. It's la. La is basically the word which we use for the negation of a command in the Holy Quran.
Laysa is also used for that.
Sorry?
Laysa is also used for that.
It is used for not for the negation of a command, but it's used for a general negation. So it's not used for the command.
Okay.
Not in terms of that negation, yeah. Right, Jazakallah, and I will hand it over back to the day teacher then. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah Tia. So let's move on to today's lesson. Let's see which rules we'll be covering today. So we are going to look at the Madde Zaid, which is also known as extended elongation. And Madde Zaid is divided into two categories. One is Al-Maddu Saghir and second is Al-Maddu Kabir. Both types of extended elongation are recognized by similar signs, and the only difference is you'll see the sign for Maddu Saghir is this one and the Maddu Kabir is this one. So let's move on. So Al-Maddu Saghir, which is a medium-long elongation, it says the duration of Al-Maddu Saghir is about 3 to 5 seconds or counts. Maddu Saghir is also Al-Maddul Munfasil. But when is it Maddul Munfasil? When it's applied with the letter of elongation that appears at the end of the first word and the next word starts with Hamza Alif. And Hamza Alif means an Alif with a stroke that has Fatha, Kasra or Dhamma. So if you look at this example, these are two words. Bima is one word and Unzila is second word. So when a letter of elongation appears at the end of the first word, which is on ma, and the next word starts with Alif, Hamza Alif, Alif with a stroke, then it means it's Maddul Munfasil. And here we have more examples. So the first word Allati is ending with a letter of elongation, and it has Maddu Saghir at the top, and the next letter is starting with Alif, so it's Maddul Munfasil. So we need to prolong the T with about 3 to 5 seconds long. So let's see. Allati an'amtu. Second example. The first word is ending with the letter of elongation on Mim, and the next one is starting with Alif. So this is again Maddul Munfasil. It will be read as Bima Unzila. Make sure it's 3 to 5 second, 5 second or 5 counts. So why is it 3 to 5 counts? Because firstly, we have the Fatha on Mim, which is 1 count. And then we have Alif Madhya, Mim and Alif. So that's 2 counts. Altogether, that's making 3 counts. So we need to have the Maddu Saghir for about 3 to 5 seconds long. So moving on, we now have Al-Maddul Kabir, which is extra long elongation. And the duration of al-maddul kabir is approximately 4 to 6 counts or seconds. You see this word ja'a, so we now have al-maddul muttasil, but remember that not all maddul kabir is maddul muttasil. It's only al-maddul muttasil when the letter hamza appears next to the letter of elongation. And we also call it maddul wajib. So if we look at this example at the top, we have the letter of elongation and a maddul kabir, but the next letter after that is hamza. So that's why it is maddul muttasil. And we will prolong that for 4 to 6 counts. And here we have examples at the bottom. So the first word, on ayn we have maddul kabir, and the word letter after that is hamza. So this is maddul muttasil. Whereas a second example, you can say that this is maddul kabir as well. But this is not maddul muttasil because the letter after that is la mushaddad, not hamza. So this is not an example of maddul muttasil. Similarly, the second word as well, we have maddul kabir and the letter following that is hamza. So this will be maddul muttasil. Whereas the second one, after the letter of elongation, we have mushaddad letter again. So this is not an example of maddul muttasil. So you need to remember that not all maddul kabir is maddul muttasil. Only if it's a hamza after the letter of elongation. And the third one we have is al-maddul lazim. And al-maddul lazim means compulsory elongation. So it will take place when a sakin or a mushaddad letter appears after harful mad, and its duration is also 5 to 6 counts. So if you look at the example on the right hand side, we have alif that is carrying maddul kabir, but the letter after is not hamza, but it's a sakin letter, lam. So this is maddul lazim, not maddul munfasil or muttasil, but maddul lazim. And the second example, after this elongation letter, we have letter lam, lam mushaddad. So this is again maddul lazim. So how would we read this one? We'll prolong first, then join. Ad-dallina. And secondly, we have the disjointed letters, which is also known as huruful muqattat. So huruful muqattat is the combination of Arabic alphabets, and they often appear at the start of a surah, for example, qaf and noon, but they are carrying maddul kabir, but they are not maddul muttasil or munfasil. So how would we read huruful muqattat with their actual sound? So this will be kaf, ha, ya, ayn, sad. Remember, we have ishbaya stroke here, so this will be 2 counts, whereas the other one would be 5 to 6 counts. But these are examples of al-maddul lazim. So we've looked at maddul munfasil, maddul muttasil, and maddul lazim. So let's practice here. So can I request ST to please unmute a student for practice?
G4 757. Please unmute your mic.
G4 757.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you read the first line for me, starting with Thousand Tasmir?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تشاقون.
So when you read this one, did you make a pause after sha?
No, تشاقون.
Well done, that's better. Carry on.
الآن. جاء بما أنزل.
Jazakallah. Could you tell me on this word, is it maddul lazim, maddul muttasil, or maddul munfasil?
That's
Okay,
I've
so
not been able
if I go to this slide, this one says, if after the letter of elongation, if you have a mushaddad letter or a sakin letter, then it's maddul lazim.
okay.
So in your example, what did you had?
There is mushaddid letter
On qaf, right?
on qaf, yes.
So what kind of example is this?
Maddul lazim.
Well done, maddul lazim. And what about the second one?
That's
If I go
that's
back,
maddul mufasil.
so have a read again. We said if it's a sakin letter or a mushaddad letter, then it's maddul lazim.
Okay.
And you have a sakin letter, lam.
Okay, yes.
So this will be maddul lazim again.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so mushaddad letter or sakin letter is maddul lazim. What about the third one?
The third one is maddul mufasil.
Let's go back and see. So did you say munfasil or muttasil?
Muttasil.
Muttasil. It's muttasil because when it's a hamza after that, then it's always muttasil. Okay?
Okay.
So what about the last example?
The last example is maddul sagir. That's maddul mufasil.
Maddul munfasil.
Munfasil, yeah,
Well done.
munfasil.
Yeah, this is maddul sagir, but it's because it has alif after that, so this is maddul munfasil.
Okay, thank you.
Jazakallah. And
Yeah,
ST, can I have another student?
G4733. Please unmute your mic.
G4733, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you read the second line for me?
जी أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ما أمروا إلا
Illa, this will be 2 seconds as well.
okay إلا but do I have to give a jerking sound or
No, because it's not the kalkula letter.
okay okay ألف لام ميم صاد في أهله
P has to be a bit more longer than that.
في أهله الآن
You need to prolong a bit more.
الآن
Well done. So again, I would also ask you a few questions. So which kind of mud was this one?
مادة صغيرة
It is mad saghira, but is it maddul munfasil or muttasil or maddul lazim?
مادة منتصر
You mean munfasil?
منفصل جي
Yes. Why is that maddul munfasil?
because of the alif carrying the ma
Well done. Alif with a stroke, right?
جي
Jazakallah. And what about the second example?
this will be it's مادة صغيرة and مادة لازم
It's not maddul saghira, it's maddul kabir,
كبيرة
right?
sorry مادة كبيرة yeah
And what did you say, sorry? The rule, what kind of mud is that?
مادة لازم
Maddul lazim. Why? Because you have all the muqattat letters there, right?
yeah
And what about the third one?
مادة صغيرة and مادة منفصل
Munfasil. And what about the last one?
مادة كبيرة and is it مادة لازم
Yes. Why is maddul lazim?
because of the سكون on lam
Well done, Sakin letter, Jazakallah. And now it's almost the time for surah practice, so I will hand over the mic to the TA.
Jazakallah. Let me screen share. All right, okay, so let's carry on with the surah practice. ST, can I request you to unmute a student then?
G4 754, please unmute your mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Right, so we will carry on with, but I can't, hold on. Let's try. Right. Okay. There you go. I can swap now on my PDFs now. Okay, we'll do 19 verses 19 to 27 today, and 19 will start from this yellow bit. Would you like to start reciting?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Good, well done. We've got a mushaddad ra here, so it will be
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Beautiful. Right. So off you go from verse 19. You can go the whole verse. I won't stop you in the middle. Have a go.
ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى وإن تدع مثقلة إلى حملها لا يهمل منه شيء ولو كان ذا قربى إنما تنذر الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب وأقاموا الصلاة ومن تزكى فإنما يتزكى لنفسه وإلى الله المصير.
Well done, Jazakallah. Okay, so let's have a look at a few things that we can improve now. With the ra, it carries a fatha. We can improve on this one a tiny bit more for having a more rounder mouth on this one.
Sorry to interrupt, DT.
Yes?
Students who get option for breakout room, please join. G4 702.
Hello. Yes.
And G4 757, please.
This is G4
G4 754. We're just waiting for the assistants to go through the students that will go to the breakout room. So we'll pause here. I'll come back to you.
Okay, please carry on, DT.
Okay, I think that's done with the other students. So G4 754, I'm back with you now. Are you still there?
I'm G4 754. Four, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So let's have a look then. Right, sorry for the interruption. We have some ra's here which have a fatha on their tops. So we have to pronounce them with a rounder sound. Let's have a try again. You can just recite up to here.
Okay. ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى.
Good, well done. So what did you do here with the sound, with your recitation? Compared to the other ra's?
This was a bit thicker, round, raw.
All the three are thick because they have fatha. What's this one? Is this a fatha?
No, this is vertical fatha.
Exactly. So you prolonged it for how long?
2 seconds.
2 seconds, exactly. So these are 1 second each, and this is 2 seconds. Whereas all of the three, however, they are all recited with a round mouth or thicker sound. Good. Now, what's this one here? This is a letter of
Sakin.
This is a sakin letter, but the dal is a letter of which?
Oh, I forgot. It's
We did that last week, I remember.
Yeah. It's what's the name? It's like you have to pronounce it with the
Yeah, with the what sound? Exactly, with a jerking sound. So it's a haruful qalqala or a letter of qalqala. Exactly. So let's try this one in the recitation.
Wa in tad'u muthqalatun ila himliha la yuhmal minhu shay'un walau kan.
That's good, that's good. Okay, I know you're getting out of breath. Right, so that's good. What you need to just practice now is on your ra, you need to make them thick if they carry the fatha, or also, not only fatha, what also is a thick ra. If it's carrying which stroke? Do you pronounce it thick if it's kasra?
No.
No. Do you pronounce it thick if it carries a dhamma?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, you do. Yes, if we were not to pause here, for example, if we were to carry on, this is just one example that I just saw with a dhamma. This one is a thick, but we were to pause here. Good, well done. So, can I have another student? Jazakallah, G4 754.
May I request G4 768? Please unmute your mic.
G476, I couldn't hear the last digit.
68. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you?
I'm well, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. I think this verse is very short. Shall we take 2?
Okay.
Or 3 actually. So you start from here and you end there.
Okay. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wama yastavil a'ma wal basir wal zulumatu walan nur walazillu walal harur.
Okay, good. So we've got some connections to do here, and that's where you were portraying a bit. Let's try improving on these then. So this one will be A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Walazulumatu. Walazulumatu. Have a go.
Walazulumatu walan nur.
Wala nur or walan nur?
Walan nur.
Good. And then carry on.
Walazillu walal harur.
Yeah. Walazillu walal harur.
Walazillu walal harur.
You still need to have a bit of a connection on these two.
Walazillu walal harur.
Walal harur.
Walal harur.
Good. Okay. Jazakallah. Right. So it's a bit of the connections that you need to practice now. Otherwise, it's good. Now, can I have another student, please?
May I request G4 719? Please unmute your mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. So we are now reciting from here till the end of the verse.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما يستوي الأحياء ولا الأموات إن الله يسمع من يشاء وما أنت بمسمع من في القبور.
Okay, Jazakallah. Yeah, that's up to here.
Oh, okay.
Right. So what is this one here and how do you pronounce these?
أحياء.
Yeah. And what is the highlighted stroke? What do you call it?
That is Madh Kabir.
Madh Kabir or Madh Muttasil?
Madh Muttasil.
Why?
Because Hamza is there.
Okay. What about this one then?
This is also Madh Muttasil because the Hamza is there.
Well done. What about this one then?
This is also this is Madh Lazim because the alif is there. Is Madh Saghir with the after the alif.
Okay, you've given me two options. Now, is it Madh Saghir or Madh Lazim?
This is Madh Saghir.
Is it Madh Saghir or Madh Munfasil?
Madh Munfasil.
Good. And why is it Madh Munfasil?
Because of the alif.
Yeah, alif hamza following after the letter of elongation. Well done. Good. So how many seconds then on the...
This is 4 to 6 seconds, this one.
Yes, and this one?
And this is the 3 to 5 seconds.
Good, well done. Okay, now let's try doing that actually.
Okay. From where I...
Wama.
Wama yastawil ahya'u. That's right now?
Yeah, that's good. You need to continue.
Oh, okay. وما يستوي الأحياء ولا الأموات إن الله يسمع من يشاء وما أنت بمسمع من في القبور.
Okay, good. Better now with the elongations. Well done. Jazakallah. Right, so can I have another student then?
May I request G4 736? Please unmute your mic. 736. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Right, so the next verse is really tiny. So how about you go up to 25? So you do up to that.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن أنت إلا نذير إنا أرسلناك بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وإن من أمة إلا خلا فيها نذير.
Okay, good. Well done. So what you did here is I heard a bit of a pausing after the noon with the vertical fatha. Is it because you were trying to prolong it?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, probably. Right, so what do you do on this one here? What's this?
Oh, because it is a Madh Kabir.
Are you sure it's Madh Kabir?
Oh, it's a Madh Sagir, so I have to, there is an extension of elongation.
Yes,
So
and how long?
For about 3 seconds.
3 to 5 seconds, exactly. So to be more precise, this one is a mad saghir, but it is mad munfasil. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we have a alif hamza after the letter of elongation here as well. Right, so let's do this one then, and let's start not pausing. Try to have this whole thing in one go.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna arsalnaka bil haqqi bashiran wa nazira.
Okay, it's not ra.
Oh.
If you're
So-
pausing, it will be carrying a fatha.
So it will be Nazira.
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 It's a thick ra.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a thick ra. All right. So then.
Okay, thick ra.
Yeah, it's thick ra. Good. Well done. Can you recite the next part as well without pausing? So you end on verse 25 then.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَإِن مِّنْ أُمَّةٍ إِلَّا خَلَا فِيهَا نَذِيرٌ.
Okay, good to know. Right, good. Well done. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Right, can I have another student now?
G4 727. Please unmute your mic. 727.
G4 727, are you there? I think the student's not there.
Okay. May I request G4 733.
G4 733, wa alaikum salam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. So the next verse is for you, verse 26, and you read up to here, starting from that.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإن يكذبوك فقد كذب الذين من قبلهم جاءتهم رسولهم بالبينات وبالزبور وبالكتاب المنير.
Okay, good. Well done. Now, what do you do on this highlighted bit?
Prolong it for 2 seconds.
Why?
Is this vowel-line?
Not vowel-line, but it's vowel something.
Madhya?
Good. Why? How do you know it's a vowel madda?
Because the previous letter has dam on it.
Yes, so if we have a vowel which is preceded by the stroke of dhamma, we have a vowel madda and you prolong it for 2 seconds. Let's try doing it then. And we have what? This is a letter of?
Huruf halki.
No. Dal with the sakoon.
Qad, with a jerking sound?
That's it. And you call it a haruful qalqala.
Oh, haruful qalqala. Okay.
Good, well done. So let's try improving them to here and you can go up to there.
Okay. وَإِن يُكَذِّبُوكَ فَقَدْ كَذَّبَ الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِهِمْ.
Good, well done. And I did hear you've done a qalqala there. And you did also prolong for 2 seconds on the yamada. Now this qalqala, the qablihim, can you tell me whether this is a strong qalqala or a medium qalqala? Or
a medium one.
Why is it a medium one?
Is it because it's in between the words?
Yeah, it's in the middle of it, so it will be light. Good, well done. Right, so can I have another student then now?
G4 742. Please unmute your mic.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. So the last verse is for you then, starting from here.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم ثم أخذت الذين كفروا فكيف كان نكير.
Okay, Jazakallah, beautiful. Now, tell me what you've done on this part.
Here Z. Because here it is hurfe madda. It is hurfe madda. So I prolonged.
How do you know it's a haruful madda?
Because it's a rule that ya sakin before ya sakin, if there is a kasra, then you have to prolong.
Good, well done. So it's ya madda there. And then can you tell me what's this one?
It's a ya waw sakin. Before that, it's a dhamma. So it's a hurfe madda again.
Good. What's this part? What you call it?
Yeah, it's a hurfe leen, because before ya sakin, before that it's kasra.
Yes. Kasra is actually something like this one. So what you have?
Fatah, sorry.
Exactly. Good, well done. But you do know that it's a haruful leen. Brilliant, well done. Jazakallah. Okay, so what I suggest now is we go back to the longest verse, which is the first one, verse 19. I'm scrolling all the way up. Here you go. And can we have another student now?
May I request G4 771, please unmute your mic.
G4 771.
G. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا تزر وزرة وزر أخرى وإن تدع مثقلة إلى حملها لا يحمل منه شيئا ولو كان ذا قربى إنما تنذر الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب وأقاموا الصلاة ومن تزكى فإنما يتزكى لنفسه وإلى الله المصير. Is that enough?
Yes, that's good. Well done. Okay, so let's have a look here. Maybe I couldn't hear you properly, but you were a bit prolonging. It did come through to me, but it's basically maybe it's the sound not coming properly to me because you were breaking up at some points for myself. I don't know whether that's my connection. So this is prolonged for how long then? Is it 1 second or 2 seconds?
1 second.
1 second, that will be, yes, good. I did hear a fatha instead of the dhamma actually, but that could be that it's just a connection again. But this should be a tu, yeah? Tun.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
Can I ask you to read my noons and my means, okay? With
yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, you did. Right, so brilliant, very good. Jazakallah. Can I have another student, please?
G4 744. Please unmute your mic.
G4 744?
7.
Yes. Wa alaikum salam. Okay, so we've got a tiny verse for you, so you can go off, and I think let's do 2 of them. Here you go.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما يستوي وما يستوي الأعمى والبصير ولا الظلمات ولا النور.
Okay, brilliant. Everything was good. Just a tiny mistake here. It will be وَمَا يَسْتَوِي الْأَعْمَى, yeah? Not just because we've got Hamza here. So do you want to try this one again? Just the verse? Yeah.
وما يستوي الأعمى والبصير.
Sorry, did I say Hamza? It's Ain. Sorry, my mistake. But it will be pronounced from your throat, okay? So it will be Have a go and practice these when Alif and Ain come together. It's a bit difficult, but practice can make it perfect, right? So it will be Good, brilliant, Jazakallah. So we are heading towards the end of the class, and I will hand it back towards our day teacher then. Jazakallah, everyone.
Jazakallah to you. Let me share my screen. So let's recap quickly which rules we covered today. So how does a letter prolong within the text of the Holy Quran? If we have the normal meme letter, so that's just a meme itself. But if we have a stroke over meme, that would be 1 second, and that would be ma. If we have an alif next to the maftu letter, then it will be prolonged for 2 seconds, and this will be ma, as it's alif madya. The third is an example of haruful mad, which is you have the alif next to the letter of elongation, hamza alif. So that is an example of maddul munfasil. So this will be prolonged for 3 to 5 seconds. And then we looked at maddul muttasil, where we have the letter of elongation and the letter after is hamza, and that is al maddul muttasil. And lastly, we looked at maddul lazim, when we have a sakin letter or a mushaddad letter after the letter of elongation, that is maddul lazim. So as homework, please revise and apply these rules in your daily recitation as well. And if you think the names are hard to remember, I would advise that you write the names down in diary or something, or you can also watch our recording of the classes. So Jazakallah, and moving on to the final bit, which is the concluding prayer. ST, can you unmute a student for the prayer?
May I request G4 739, please unmute your mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Allahumma sorry. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allahumma inni abduk wabnu abdika wabnu amatik nasiyati biyadik ma fiyahumuk hukmuk sorry hukmuk adlun biyaqaza'uk as'aluka bikulli ismin huwa lak sammaita bihi nafsak au anzaltahu fi kitabik au allamtahu ahadan min khalqik awista sarta bihi fi ilmil ghaibi indak taj'alal Qur'ana rabi'a qalbi wa nura sadri wa jala'a hazni wa zahaba hammi wa jala'a huzni wa zahaba hammi. O Allah, I am your servant, the son of your servant, and the son of your maidservant. My forehead is in your hand. Your command concerning me prevails, and your decision concerning me is just. I call upon you by every one of the beautiful names with which you have described yourself, or which you have revealed in your book, or you have taught to any of your creatures, or which you have chosen to keep in the knowledge of unseen with you, to make the Quran the delight of my soul, the light of my heart, and the source to remove my grief and sadness and dispel my anxiety and fear. Sakallah.
Jazakallah. One thing I'd just like to mention that when you read this line, you need to make sure that you are performing qalqala on this ba. So wabnu abdika.
Okay.
And here you on this word Quran on ra, this is not one of the qalqala letters, so there's no need to have a jerking sound. Okay.
Okay.
And Jazakallah. So this concludes our today's class. So inshallah, see you all in the next class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.